What is up, guys? We are back once again. We thought we weren't going to draft until the draft, but here we are drafting again because it's our final draft before the draft, I
Yes.
think. But either way, you want to draft some best ball? Here we are, underdog, big board. Let's get to it again and see if we can mix it up again. Don't try to pre-plan the strategy. That's never a good idea. It can't be the same as yesterday's draft, right? We got to mix it up at least a little bit.
Well, yeah, hopefully that happens organically by where our draft slot is and who's available. But yes.
Hopefully, I don't get the number 4 pick again. I feel like that's like 90% of my drafts have been the number 4 pick. So here we go. You guys are watching. I know you sometimes wait and jump in here with us. You can draft with us if you have an underdog account. Of course, you already know. Those who know, you know. But if you don't know, well, you can. I don't know if you have time to jump in this one, but let me give you a moment. Get the Underdog app. If you don't have it yet, go to underdogfantasy.com and create an account. And when you do that, if you use promo code ENDGAME, as you see scrolling down there at the bottom, or you see it in the comments or the description or anywhere else, use code ENDGAME when you check out, because if you use that promo code when you first sign up, making your Underdog account, you get up to $1,000 of bonus cash from your first deposit. That gives you free money to play with, and you get a free pick. Just do one of those pick'ems. And I know it's early for NFL pick'ems, but the good news is you don't have to wait for NFL season. You get a free pick of any sort. MLB is going on every day. NBA playoffs are now underway, as I was told. Let's see, there's golf, there's hockey, there's everything you could possibly imagine. Get your free pick, use your free pick, get your free cash, make an account, and then you can start drafting, because you're definitely going to get some best ball drafts in after next week.
Yes.
When all the hype and all the changes happen. So let's do one more, though. This might be our last time to take advantage of these rookie ADPs.
Yep.
Best ball, big board, underdog, 30 seconds per pick. Anyone who wants to jump in here with us, let's do it. In 3, 2, 1, enter.
Ooh, it's already full.
Wow. That's... Are we...
Are you in this one?
Yeah. We were in the same one, barely.
Wow. We must have been the last two.
Yeah. And guess what? The number 3 pick. I just cannot get out of the top 4.
I got the 6, so at least I'm a little ahead of last time, although not a big fan of the 6, but we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, I almost wish we could trade draft picks. Again, I'm not complaining about having a top 4 pick, but the reason we do these over and over again is you want some variety, right? Different player combinations, different roster constructions, and it's kind of hard to do that when you always have the same pick. But oh well, could be worse. All right. Well, I don't know if anybody else was able to join us, but if not, you can sit and watch. And this does give you a good idea of where some of these players are going, and then how things change afterwards. I mean, the rookies, of course, but also some other players see their value shift.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see after the draft where everything settles out here. All right, Bijan, you gonna take Bijan?
I still have too much. I'm gonna go Justin Jefferson.
Nothing wrong with Jefferson. Seen his ADP start to climb back up.
And then at the 6, you can go a couple different directions. I mean, I'm not sure. We'll see Bijan, of course, taken there. We'll see if Gibbs is off the board. Yes, he is. All right. Who's your receiver of choice? CD again?
I'll go CeeDee Lamb. I don't think I've gotten CeeDee Lamb too much this year, so let's get CeeDee Lamb. Nothing wrong with CeeDee.
Only thing I don't like about getting Jefferson this early is I really don't know not only who I could stack him with, but if I want to stack it. I mean, JJ McCarthy, guess, is the guy. I don't know.
I got to think he's the guy, right? I can't imagine.
But is he going to be the guy, or is he just going to be a guy?
I mean, yeah, he could just be a guy, but I think he's good enough. I mean, where he gets drafted, I think he's good enough. And we saw today, I don't know if you saw it today, but Aaron Rodgers saying he's still mulling retirement.
Let's
I don't think it's going to be Aaron Rodgers on the Vikings, that's for sure.
No. Let's if I could, I don't watch that show, the McAfee show. If I did, I would call in and maybe give him some suggestions.
Yeah.
Let me encourage you to spend some more free time in retirement. You can be on TV every day. Oh man. What's up, Rock Candy Radio? I think you're my new favorite radio.
Yeah, thank you.
Named after Rock Candy.
Wow,
Is that a real
Nico at
thing?
11, Amon-Ra at 12. That's some good value right there.
Hey, what's up,
Thank
Ray?
you, Ray?
Good luck. I don't know if you got to jump in this one, maybe not, but just appreciate you being on here. So we got Jonte 10. I'm on Raw 12. You think that's going to become more common?
I don't know, maybe, but then he took Brock Bowers, so Nico London's a nice start though for that 11 team.
Yeah, that's too early. Sorry, too early for Bowers.
Genty CMC could be like an absolute, dominating running back start, or you could already have lost your league.
Yeah. There might not
like
be
no in between.
No in between, exactly. Well, but for a draft like this, a tournament like this, I mean, that's what it's about, right? You just go all in. If it works, it does. You might win big. If not, oh well.
Exactly.
I mean,
I don't mind it at all.
Finishing third is finishing last.
It's weird. We've seen Achan's ADP dropping. I guess people just that worried that the Dolphins are going to draft a running back.
They shouldn't be. I mean, I don't think so. Well, actually, what I've noticed, and yesterday somebody pointed out about Bucky Irving, and today I feel like he's even earlier, 17 overall. Man, I like Bucky Irving, but I'm not that optimistic.
No, I think the Bucky Irving hype is getting out of control here.
Yeah. Before JT, before Achan, no. All right. I thought I might get AJ Brown. I took T. Higgins yesterday. I think that's enough for him. We talked about JSN around here. Is like it's okay. Oh, I don't think I want Tyreek Hill right now. Sorry. Let's go Garrett Wilson.
Ooh, all right, Garrett Wilson.
Yeah. I don't really have any. I don't think I have any Justin Fields because I keep feeling like he's going way sooner than he should.
Well, I mean, he's as of now the starter for the Jets. Now you have the same decision. T. Higgins still on the board.
Yeah, but you know what? I actually was thinking about Actually, I was thinking about Terry anyways. I could go Kyron. No, let's go Terry. I like Terry. Now, I probably won't because I'm sure he'll be gone by the time it's my pick, but I also don't feel obligated to go JD, just because I have Terry. Because, again, you're very early on a quarterback, but we'll see. Ooh, Harrison. All right, you're definitely more optimistic on Harrison than I am.
Yeah, I'm gonna take basically the 2-round discount on Harrison this year and say we see it. We see it. I would have gone DJ Moore if he fell, and I did consider Mike Evans there, but I think I have quite a bit of Mike Evans. So
yeah, and that's part of it, right? You guys maybe don't know all of the drafts that we've done, every single one. We know who we've got a lot of them, who we don't. So just got to mix it up a little bit.
Wow, Jaden Daniels, QB1.
All right, well, Definitely not stacking him with Terry, apparently, which is fine.
No.
I'm almost relieved because now I don't feel like I need to take him.
Xavier Worthy. I can't. Oh, man, I don't think I can get behind Xavier
Yeah.
Worthy that early.
No. Let's remember Rasheed Rice is coming back. And Hollywood Brown might actually play more than like 2 games during the regular season.
He might. He might.
Derek has a question. So we saw Puka and Bryant Thomas going before, of course, Sun God, who was barely a first rounder, and Nico. Thoughts about that? Know how you feel about Puka?
Yeah, I would definitely take Nico over both. I'll say BTJ and Amon-Ra is close. I would take BTJ and Amon-Ra over Puka, but those guys are close. But I would take Nico over all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing, Derek, we've talked about, and you were the first to kind of go there with Puka is questioning, does he really need to be a first rounder? Because it's, again, not about necessarily his situation, in the team context and all that. I mean, he's clearly the number one, but now he's really more clearly the 1A, or is he even the 1A? I mean, they got Devontae Adams now. Cooper Kupp was clearly not the same Cooper Kupp last year, which is why the Rams were pretty much like, yeah, you're out of here. So yeah, I don't know that Puka needs to be over any of those guys. BTJ, look, even if the Jags do something else at receiver, they might. I don't think it matters. BTJ is a stud, so
Yeah.
I'm okay with BTJ over Nico. It's pretty close between those two. Actually, I'm okay with him over Amon-Ra. Now that I think about it.
Ooh, well, I was going to go Hampton there. I have a lot of Rome Odunze. Let's go Devonta Smith.
It's good value for Devonta Smith, I think. Well, I have a fair amount of Rome Odunze, but I'm okay getting some more. We'll see.
I know that's the thing. I have so much Odunze, but
okay,
I almost took more.
There goes that. Never mind. I really don't think I have any Chase Brown because he's too soon, but maybe I mix it up.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. What if they come out of the draft and don't do anything? A running back.
You know what? Let's do it. I gotta get at least one share, and he did go typically pick 38. I got him 46, so at least for now, decent value.
Yeah, never a bad idea to take values.
Yeah. Okay, this is actually a really good point. Talking about Achane, his ADP dropping, and the enemy of credulity. Yeah, that's probably the bigger issue. Is the O-line. Terran Armstead, I think retired, and they've got to address it. I think somewhere in the draft. I hope it's early, but I'm worried about that too.
Yeah, the thing about Achane last year wasn't even good. I mean, he was good for fantasy, but I mean, he only averaged the year before we saw him ripping off all those long runs. He only had 4.5 yards per carry. Didn't even, only 900 rushing yards, only 6 touchdowns. It's that receiving. It's the receiving and the O-line. I mean, look, a bad O-line might help him. It's more quick passes to Achane. So, yeah, I get being concerned about their O-line for sure. I think that hurts Tyreek Hill a lot, especially, those deep passes. But Achane, I mean, they use him as a receiver. So that's why I like Achane.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't need the interior of that offensive line to be as solid compared to some other running backs. And that's actually one thing about Chase Brown, too. Not that the Bengals O-line is going to be as bad as the Dolphins. It's a better offense, but relies more on the burst, the breakaway runs, and he's a very prolific receiver. Ted McMillan share. Got a couple of him.
Yeah.
But I don't like the predictions, as much. I used to always do my little mock draft. It's fun, right? We like predicting things. I don't even know if I'm going to do one this year. I haven't yet submitted my mock draft because you would just wind up tearing it up anyways, right? Because it was all wrong. But do you have a gut feel for McMillan where you think he will land?
I think there's like a few potential spots. I think Raiders make sense. I think Cowboys make sense. I would have said Saints make sense, but now they might be going QB instead. Seattle makes sense if he somehow falls to them at 18. Denver makes sense at 20. The Chargers make sense at 22. There's a lot of spots where I think he could land, depending on, if he's still on the board or not.
Yeah. I'm thinking Raiders. If I had to pick one, that's where I'm going. I mean, it's an obvious need for them. They got a quarterback. What's the point of getting a quarterback if you don't have someone to throw to? So, a lot of people putting a running back there, which they need also. But given the fact that this RB class is much deeper and the wide receiver class is not, I think it makes more sense they go a guy like McMillan early and then a round or two later running back. But doesn't mean that that's what they'll do. Loaded question. Interesting question. I assume you're talking strictly fantasy. Funny how losing the Super Bowl is like, man, what a down year. But for fantasy, yeah, it was. I mean, is Pat Mahomes going to bounce back? Right? Is Travis Kelce going to bounce back? So Billy wants to know about the Chiefs. What do you think? Are we going to see basically more of what we saw last year?
If you mean bounce back, like win the Super Bowl instead of losing it, I don't know. But if you mean bounce back, like the players, maybe. I think we just see we've seen a different Chiefs team the last couple of years, a team that's been able to lean more on their defense and not need the offense as much. I think losing Rice certainly hurt. Losing Hollywood certainly hurt because they went into last season thinking like, okay, we got Rashee Rice, we got Hollywood Brown, we got Xavier Worthy, we're set at wide receiver, and then you lost Hollywood Brown before the season even started, lost Rice very early, and suddenly you had the ghost of Travis Kelce and Xavier Worthy basically as your only pass catchers, and then they added the ghost of DeAndre Hopkins. So I think they'll bounce back to some degree, but I don't think we're going to see back like when we saw like Kelce and Tyreek and Mahomes, going nuts.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think that Kelce pretty much last year, that might be best case scenario for this year, right? Either he loses another step, half a step, or whatever. I don't think he necessarily falls completely off a cliff, but I don't see him rebounding in terms of fantasy production. Mahomes should. I think Mahomes will. All right, get my boy here. Because you also, we get so used to just not mattering. Like, it doesn't matter who the receivers are. It doesn't matter, but losing Rashee Rice for the season, right at the very beginning of it, that changes a lot, right? Losing who was your top receiver from the year before.
Right.
Especially with Kelce not being, what he used to be. So having Rice back, having Brown actually be able to play, that's going to make a big difference. And Worthy also was very green, whole first half of the season. So I think we have to look at that and say that might excuse Pat Mahomes. He was able to, for a long time, kind of make magic and put up huge numbers throwing to guys like Justin Watson and McCall Hardman and whatever. But when that happens all of a sudden during the season and you're losing your top receivers, right at the beginning of the season, it throws you off.
Yeah, no, certainly. And I also think that, like I said, like you look at the Chiefs last year, they were 9th in pass attempts per game with 34 attempts, but you go back to 2023, 37 attempts per game. You go to 2022, they had 38 attempts per game. Like they just needed to throw the ball a lot more. We've seen last year, the defense, they kind of, were a more defensive oriented team than an offensive oriented team. So, yeah, I don't know if we're going to see back like we saw, where Mahomes was throwing for like 5,000 yards, but Mahomes has to almost be better than he was last year. But I don't know if it's going to be like it was, a few years ago.
Yeah, that's fair. I figure somewhere in between 2024, 2023 numbers, something like that. Probably closer to 23.
Yeah, I mean, you look at 2021 averaged 40 pass attempts per game because they had no defense. They had no defense.
But that's part of it. And that's why I don't think we ever see him go back. Oh, okay. I shouldn't say ever. Okay. This year, I don't think we see him bounce back to those elite numbers because they won because of the strength of their defense. Their defense is good enough. They don't have to throw it 40 times a game anymore. So that's the problem is their defense is almost too good now for Pat Mahomes. TB12. JT or K-Dub?
I'm definitely going JT.
Yeah, me too.
Definitely JT. JT's an elite running back, workhorse running back. And it didn't seem to matter last year how bad Anthony Richardson was. JT was still good.
Yep. I got JT before Bucky Irving even. That's how high.
Yes, definitely.
And let's see. Guess I'll take a chance. Mondre. What's up? Marquise is here. Marquise, we know he likes to wait until after the NFL draft to get in on the action. It's a week early.
What's up?
What's up? All right. Wonder, I'm looking at the board here. I don't have a tight end. I think I'm going to wait still. Got Mark Andrews up there. I'm sure you saw the not overly encouraging comments about Mark Andrews. They're like, is he going to be around after they're like, yeah, maybe.
I didn't see that, but I mean, really? What are they going to get from Mark Andrews?
My worry is he's kind of like a lame duck starting tight end. Like he's there, but it likely gets as many reps and targets as him. And then they got some rookie like basically waiting in the wings,
Maybe. I don't know. I was going to take Mark Andrews here.
Hey, I'm not saying I'm out on him or anything, but yeah, you didn't get a vote of confidence from the GM, and then now Dallas Goedert, they're saying he might get traded either before or during the draft, which sure definitely sounds like. And Philly's actually preparing to move on. They've already signed a couple of tight ends, and sounds like they're done with him.
Yeah, but I mean, how many teams out there, are are looking at Mark Andrews and Dallas Goedert. I mean, maybe Mark Andrews, but like Dallas Goedert, and saying like, yeah, we need that guy. Like, sure, if the price is right, sure, but
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I did notice this. I noticed it a couple of rounds ago, and we were talking about something else. Can you explain
yes,
Jordan Mason going, I think, 66 overall in this draft?
no, can't explain it because he was like a league winner for 6 weeks last year before he got hurt.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Aaron Jones is not only still there, but they extended him. Am I right?
They did extend him, yes.
So I'm pretty sure Jordan Mason is still the number 2 back, but everyone's got their own strategy. All right, Derek got a good question here. So my last receiver pick, I was between Jaden Reed and Ricky Pearsall. So thoughts on Jaden Reed? I mean, for my draft right now, he would have been my 5th receiver, which is great. But I actually like Ricky Pearsall's upside a little bit more. And also, I feel better pairing him with Brock Purdy. But anyways, Steele as a 3rd receiver.
I do feel like now Jaden Reed, like this happens a lot in fantasy, right? If you remember Jaden Reed as a rookie, because we had Matt Harmon on the show that year. I took Sharps yesterday. I'm not taking Swift. Let's gamble on Pacheco. I feel like he's now a good value too. Remember we had Harmon on the show a couple of years ago, and when Reed was a rookie, and that was one of his sleepers that he liked. When he went to Green Bay, we started talking up Jaden Reed, and a lot of videos talking him up. And then he had a nice rookie year, right? He had some nice games. And then he got way overdrafted last year, and we were like, no, this is crazy. You guys are crazy, right? He's competing with 1,000 other wide receivers. They spread the ball around, and of course he was a bust last year, and now it's going the other way where now people are too low on him. So yeah, I do think he's a good value.
Yeah, where he's taken right now is fair, maybe a decent value, not a screaming value, but pretty good. I don't assume the Packers do anything crazy at receiver during the draft. I think they're fine. Again, keep saying it. They need to focus more on defense in the secondary first. So nothing that's going to worry me about Jaden Reed and his touches. But he's, to me, kind of a better and best ball type of player as well. Because, man, how many weeks did he make the bust list last year?
Right. But again, if Jaden Reed had gone, like, where did he go in this? If he had gone in the 7th round, I mean, yeah, it still would be frustrating, but you wouldn't be too worried about it because he's probably like your bench wide receiver, right? But people were taking him in like the 4th round, if I recall. Right. Now he's your wide receiver 2 or something, a lot of times. And now he's a bust.
Exactly.
So I do think he's a good value this year. I think he's got that upside. And we know, look, Christian Watson might miss the entire year or close to it. I know everybody every year pencils in the Packers to draft wide receiver. I don't know. We'll see.
Definitely not counting on that.
No. Well, you're not going to get McCarthy.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Went in a slightly different direction. Instead of pairing my top guys with their quarterback, I'm pairing my tight end and my 5th receiver. roundabout stacks, sneaky stacks. Oh, there goes
Sneaky
Loveland.
stacks.
Sneaky stacks. Okay, so this is a good segue to this question. Alex wants to know, Loveland, at the 1-6 too early. If you start two, is that tight end premium? You start 2 tight ends.
I mean, it might not be too early if you have to start 2 tight ends, but of course it's going to depend on where these guys land. Everybody already assumes Tyler Warren's going to be the first tight end drafted. I think people are going to be very, very shocked at Tyler Warren's draft stock, but we will see. I mean, yeah, if you have to start 2 tight ends and you don't have, 2 to 3 good tight ends, you might need to. You might need to. But of course, again, this all depends on where he winds up, because if he gets drafted to a really bad spot or something, you're not going to want to take him, even in a 2 tight end premium league.
Yeah, I'd say generally speaking, I don't think that's too early. That's fine given the premium there and the inexplicable reason why you'd start 2 tight ends. Yeah, this is like in baseball, which now there are 2 catcher leagues. Like, people don't even have enough interest in starting 1 catcher, and then there's some leagues where no, you have to start 2. It's like a punishment just for being in the league. So I think it's okay, but I will say this: I don't think you necessarily want to prioritize, if it's not a great landing spot. I don't think you need to prioritize a tight end just for the sake of having a tight end if there's an elite player left for you at 6, because you're saying Warren's already going to go probably at the 3rd spot. Okay, you got 5 picks ahead of you. Jonte will be 1, and then I don't know. I guess you could tell, is it super flex? I don't know. I figure Cam Ward will be one of those picks.
Yeah,
Miller might be one of those picks. And then you got to decide, do you want like a Hampton or one of those elite running backs, depending on how that shakes out, or do you just want the tight end? So it's not a gimme. I'm not saying yes, take the tight end no matter what, but it's reasonable. Don't have enough Garendo.
I probably honestly don't have enough Garendo. Although when the 49ers draft Caleb Johnson in round 3, no one will want Garendo anymore.
You think? Round 3, huh?
Isn't that what they do? Don't they always just take running back in round 3, I feel like?
Yeah, well, they do. That's how they got Garendo, and that's how they continue to get all these running backs that... Oh, I was going to take Cam Ward anyways.
Isn't that when they... Who was that running back they drafted that ended up being a huge bust a few years ago?
Oh, I know. Because, I could say which one. It was the guy I was high on, Ty Davis Price.
No. Somebody else. Oh, man, what was his name?
Wait, how long ago we're talking?
Where's Clayton? Like a few years ago.
Yeah. Davis Price was, what, like maybe 3 years ago?
No, it wasn't him.
Elijah Mitchell.
No, because he was actually good. This
Yeah.
guy was a bust.
He just couldn't stay on the field.
Trey Sermon.
Oh, the other guy I was way too high on. Yeah.
Didn't they draft him in the 3rd round? And then, everybody's like, this is it. He's gonna take over. He's gonna take over.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah,
a lot of people. It wasn't just you. It was a lot of people. Yeah, Trey Sermon. There's Clayton. Trey Sermon.
Oh, that's... He's mentioned the 49ers, and he just
right. It's like exactly. It's like, whoa, where'd Clayton come from? Like Trey Sermon is like a great comp for Caleb Johnson, right? A big, not super fast running back.
Oh, Well, I don't know the 40 numbers. I feel like he's faster, got more burst than Sermon. He's asking about Fannin and Jacksonville. I don't know. They might. They seem to be high on Brenton Strange, and they should be. But yeah, they could definitely take another tight end. I think they would still address receiver before tight end, though.
Yeah, I mean Jags a good tight end spot, although it was a better tight end spot with Doug Peterson, but it's still a good tight end spot.
Good, but yeah, not great. Like
I
Doug
still think
Peterson.
Denver is a good tight end spot, even though I know they did sign Ingram. Maybe it's not good for the tight end short term, but Ingram's getting up there.
True. Good for dynasty, not redraft.
Right, for dynasty.
I feel like, and that's why all along I thought, Warren to Denver. I feel like that might have been their plan, go early, except basically Ingram fell in their lap. Like he got cut, and they're like, well, here we go. We'll just get him. Doesn't exclude them from drafting a tight end still, but maybe not as early anymore. So still a good spot.
Coker or Wicks? Wicks or Coker?
Definitely Coker.
Definitely Coker. I don't know if I feel definitely Coker, but
definitely Coker. Also partially saying that because I might want Wicks to stack with Jordan Love.
Well, he may be there for you.
Let's go, Mad Real. All right. Agree. Coker is a steal. Cokeheads unite.
Cokeheads unite.
All right, Clayton's prediction, of course, being a 49er fan, Rashard Smith at running back.
Yeah, no, they do like those guys that can also return kicks and stuff, so wouldn't surprise me.
All right, I probably do have enough Brenton Strange. Let's mix it up here. All right, what about Marvin Mims? Does he take a step forward?
Maybe. I mean, he was fantasy relevant towards the end of last year. He was putting up some big games. It really depends on what the Broncos do in the draft. If they don't do anything significant at wide receiver, he's gonna have to.
Yeah, he was. Let's see, this draft 117 overall, which is basically right on par with his ADP. Feels about right. I mean, look, Keon Coleman was drafted before him. I'm definitely taking Mims over Coleman. And Rashad Bateman and Rashid Shaheed went before him. Yeah, give me Mims over those guys. Yeah, I look at it, especially in best ball, great target for where he's going.
Yeah, definitely.
He might, if they don't do anything significant at receiver, he might be what people wanted Gabe Davis to be.
True. He might. Had to think about that one for a second.
Hmm. All right, I'm gonna have to strike a running back here in a second. It's getting thin. Hmm. Yeah, Clayton keeps putting Dylan Sampson on the Commanders. You like that?
I do. You know, I like Dylan Sampson, so sure. I mean,
People, I keep saying, I saw it today even too, something about the rookie running backs, like sell your veteran running backs, and Brian Robinson on the cover. I think everyone just thinks it's a foregone conclusion, like B Rob is going to lose his job, like the Commanders will take a running back. I mean, it's possible. I don't know that it's.
yeah, I don't think it's the most pressing need. I mean, certainly they got defense that they need to address that defense. It was certainly the weakness last year. But like we said, teams don't always draft based on need. I mean, if there's a player, like if they have a player very high on their board and that player falls to them, I got to get my boy, Jack Besh, next Puka.
Stacking Shador with Olave.
Nice. Nice.
Because it's a done deal.
Done deal.
I want to ask you. I just saw Isaiah Bond go off the board. I noticed you took Matt Golden somewhat early in this one. A lot of people are talking up Golden like he's going to be maybe the second or even the first receiver drafted. And then I've seen, some sites are like, oh, Isaiah Bond was actually better. It's like, I mean, do you think there's a big difference between the two? Do you think that's right? Or
I do think there's a big difference. Not really a big fan of Isaiah Bond, honestly. I think Matthew Golden is much better. We'll see if NFL GMs agree with me or not.
Yeah, there was just a thing, right? When there's some sort of legal issue with him. What was that? Was it nothing?
Isaiah Bond?
No, Golden, I thought.
Oh, I haven't heard anything with Golden.
Maybe that was last week.
Let's go Tolbert with the CD Dak stack.
A lot of people just put in Golden with the Cowboys because it's the Texas connection and they need a receiver. mean, that would be a pretty good landing spot, wouldn't it?
Not really.
No, because of CD.
Yeah, because of CD. Because I feel Golden's going to be. I mean, I don't think Golden has to be in the slot, but I think he needs to be in the slot a decent amount. And we know CD's there like close to 50% of the time. So yeah, I'd rather him go somewhere where they already have like a strong outside wide receiver.
Makes sense. I was wrong by the way. It was Bond, Isaiah Bond, who had
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
not Golden. Bond had a sexual assault warrant out, and now he's suing the accuser, saying that they're trying to basically extort him.
Ah, the old "you sue me, I sue you" ploy.
I guess so. I don't know. That explains partly why Bond is going so late. He was barely top 200 here. What's up? Andrea has a question about Cole Kmet. Do you think he has a different role with Ben Johnson? I did say this a couple of weeks ago, and I'm starting to take a little bit of Cole Kmet here and there. I don't want to go crazy because Keenan Allen is not back. He's not anywhere right now. Obviously, Ben Johnson there, good for the offense. I think this could be a nice little bounce back season for him. So I do think he has a different role, meaning that he might actually catch some passes this year. What do you think, though?
Yeah, I agree. I think Kmet is a great value now. He's gonna be another one of these guys. This is, I mean, last year people liked him. I liked him. He kind of busted. Now people are like, forget him, forget Kmet. I don't want anything to do with him. Wouldn't surprise me if he's one of those, tight end waiver wire ads this year.
Yeah, and if you're in a league, it's not a best ball or a deep draft. You don't need to draft him unless you really wait on tight ends. I don't think he's necessarily a guy you want as your starting tight end, week one. But like you said, could be a strong pickup, or if your guy gets hurt or bust or whatever, kind of a sneaky high end tight end too. But good question. Good question. How about Sam Darnold? I think despite the numbers he put up, I think everyone just still realizes that he's still Sam Darnold.
Right. But I don't mind Sam Darnold.
I don't mind him as my third.
What's that?
I don't mind him as my third quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I think the downside, like, he's in that Seattle offense now, and we know they want to be run heavy.
Let's do another. Sure. At this point, like, just might as well make it a rookie running back, right?
Yes.
Sorry, Kenneth Gainwell, you're just not cutting it for me. Yeah, like, I mean, I get it. Darnold's in a good-ish spot, but we know JSN is good. Cooper Kupp is obviously not what he used to be. There's a reason the Rams just let him go. They didn't even let him go. They forced him out. They actively sought to get rid of him. And this is the team that he won a Super Bowl with, had a historic season with, and breakfast buddies, all that. And they're like, yeah, we want you out of here. So that doesn't inspire much confidence in me. I'd feel better about Darnold if the Seahawks do get another receiver in the draft early-ish. But also, well, Chris, you say this all the time. The system matters, and Minnesota is a great system for any quarterback. I don't know that Seattle is because Well, we don't know because this year we got a new offensive coordinator as well. But I think they deliberately want to be less pass heavy. That's why Grubb was let go, because he got too pass happy at times. So I don't think that's great for Darnold's numbers going to Seattle.
Right. He'll be fine, but I don't expect him to be as good as he was last year.
Just again, we were talking earlier with Mike Mahomes, right? Just not needing to pass as much. The pass attempts and the neutral situation pass. And I don't think Seattle's going to be that kind of team this year. More Etienne. He don't have enough.
I know. I should mix it up with some other guys here, but like who?
Yeah, I don't think it matters too much. Okay, did we either have a Colts fan or I don't know what. Yes, this one's got to be a Colts fan because he already had Alec Pierce. We just saw Khalil Herbert. Yes, Khalil Herbert. And Daniel Jones in back-to-back picks.
Hey, Daniel Jones, starting QB for the Colts.
Is he? You think he's starting week 1?
No, but at some point he could be.
Yeah. I think at some point both those guys start 5 to 6-ish games. And then once they're both hurt, they go to let's see, who's the third string quarterback?
I don't know who the third stringer is.
They're gonna need one if they don't have one.
Like for real, I don't even know who it is.
No, actually I don't either. I'm gonna look it up. I feel like they had somebody. Who did they have? Yeah. Well, this doesn't help. That doesn't matter. You are going to love my last pick.
All right, let's see.
I'm just loading up on Saints here.
Taysom Hill, oh, come on.
Yes.
He's coming off like a massive knee injury.
Doesn't matter to him. He doesn't care.
I think finally this year we're not going to have to talk about Taysom Hill once.
Well, somehow he'll work his way into the conversation.
I feel like this is the year we don't have to talk about Taysom Hill one time.
Well, we don't have to, but we still can.
But if he has that 2-touchdown game, then we have to talk about him. But I don't think it's going to happen this year.
There you go. Just against the Falcons. Like when they play the Falcons, line them up.
If he even plays, though, that's the issue here. All right.
I think this is done. Yeah, there it is. You got Kyler to go with your Harrison and Dak. Go. You got CD, right?
Go with my CD. Yep.
Good enough. And then let's see. Achan, pretty good value. Monty, Pacheco, still in on Pacheco. Well, he's your RB3. You waited. It feels like you waited a while for your RB3. Then you got Pacheco, Benson, Shipley, of course, Trevor Etienne, and Eli Mitchell. All right. Talk to me about the KC backfield here.
I feel like now Pacheco is being way undervalued after last year. I mean, he's competing against Elijah Mitchell and Kareem Hunt. Like, is he going to be a workhorse? No, but he's going pick 115. Pick 115.
Yeah, if he can get you a few touchdowns, a couple of spike weeks in this format, good enough. All right. And then CD Harrison, Devontae Smith, I feel like is a strong value there. McMillan is your 4th receiver, feels good. Golden is your 5th. Huge upside. You got Jalen Coker, you win. And then is it Besh? Besh, right? Besh?
Jack Besh.
This is your guy. And then Tolbert. All right, not bad. I actually like that Tolbert pick too.
Yeah, I've been taking Tolbert a lot of those last late round picks.
And see, okay, we both did this. I was saying I went Saints. Have you a little Cowboy flavor here? You got Jake Ferguson too. You expecting a big Cowboy offensive season?
I don't know about that, but it's got to be better than last year. I just feel like Ferguson, Tolbert, I think these guys are good values.
All right, very solid. All right, mix up a little. Went Purdy and Love, my solid middle round kind of QB duo, the thing that I like to do. And then I just threw Shador in there because, again, I feel like this is kind of just ridiculously low for a guy who probably will wind up being a top 10 pick and to pair with my Olave. Probably. Now, this, not my favorite RB room, but I took some shots here. What do you think? I'm pretty sure my first Chase Brown, definitely not my first Caleb Johnson. They got Ramondre and Garendo. I've taken those guys a lot. Giddens and James, and of course, Kendre Miller. Enough? Is there enough here?
I mean, it's very risky, of course. It's very risky. I mean, you got good value on Chase Brown. Maybe Ramondre survives the draft. Maybe Caleb or Giddens or James ends up in a good spot. Maybe CMC, is hurt before the season even starts. Yeah. I mean, you could talk yourself into it.
Apparently I did. I talked myself into these guys. That's how it turned out. And that's why I don't love Chase Brown, but hey, at least I got him. Okay, I do love my receiver room. I got Jefferson, Garrett Wilson, Terry McLaurin, Olave, Ricky Pearsall, Wicks, and De'Ami Brown.
Very strong wide receiver room, yes.
They're going to carry the team. And once again, I wound up with 3 tight ends.
So maybe 2. I don't know about that third one.
We'll two and an 8th, maybe.
Maybe. We'll see.
All right. Well, there it is. It's different than it was yesterday, and it's going to be different again next week, and it's all going to be different next week because finally the NFL draft is here. So you still have time to take advantage of some of these ADP values as they stand because the big board is not yet full. It's very close. It's over 90%, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll probably be full by the time the draft is over. The NFL draft is over. Because next weekend people are going to be hammering it with, as a draft.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So get in while you can. And, of course, if you want to do a little bit bigger stakes, there's a bigger board, also the biggest board. So you can do all those, but you got to have an Underdog account. If you don't yet, you know what to do. Go to Underdog, sign up, use code ENDGAME, get your freebies, your bonus cash, and start playing and start winning. All right, we will see you next week for the NFL draft. Don't forget, guys, we're going to be live throughout the night of the draft, live streaming and talking about it, breaking it down, the reaction. It's always fun because the draft never goes the way we think it's going to go. Right. So, check it out. Join us. Have your simulcast going, the NFL draft on one screen and have us on the other. All right. Good night, everybody, and we'll see you very soon.